Golden Stories presents another jaw-dropping tale you won't forget. Tonight, we're diving into the depths of arrogance, racism, and humiliation so brutal, you'll almost feel sorry for the fool who brought it on himself. Almost. It was a busy Friday night at the high-end restaurant La Couronne, the kind of place dripping with chandeliers and pretentious prices. The waiter, Brad, strutted around like he was king of Paris, when in reality, he was just another man in an apron. His favorite hobby wasn't serving food, it was serving insults, and the darker your skin, the sharper his tongue. That evening, a young black woman walked in alone, carrying herself with grace. She asked politely for a table. Brad didn't even bother hiding his sneer. "Sweetheart, this isn't a chicken shack. We don't do handouts here." His voice carried just loud enough for nearby diners to chuckle uncomfortably. The girl's smile never faltered, sharp, but the sting in her eyes said everything. Brad leaned on the podium, arms crossed, dripping arrogance. "Why don't you save yourself the embarrassment and try somewhere cheaper?" He even made clucking noises, imitating a chicken, before bursting into his own laughter. A couple of wealthy-looking patrons joined in, phones secretly raised to record. The girl stood still, her composure immaculate. She didn't shout, she didn't beg. Instead, she pulled out her phone, dialed a number, and spoke calmly. "It's happening again." The restaurant fell oddly quiet at those words. Brad rolled his eyes dramatically. "Oh, please, are you calling the fried chicken hotline? Tell them you'll need extra napkins." Some guests laughed nervously, others looked away in shame. But that single phone call would soon flip the room upside down. And if you're enjoying this chaos already, don't forget to like and subscribe to Golden Stories. Trust me, it only gets spicier from here. Silence after her calm words felt heavier than a thundercloud. Brad tried to keep the spotlight, raising his voice louder than necessary. "Ladies and gentlemen, you're witnessing our nightly comedy special. One ticket for fine dining, zero qualifications." He twirled his notepad like a mic, bowing dramatically. Laughter erupted from a few tables, but plenty of faces twisted in disgust. Some even whispered, "He's gone too far." The young woman, still unbothered, adjusted her blazer and sat in a chair by the entrance as though she owned the place. Brad snapped his fingers, furious. "Get up! You don't just plop yourself down like you're royalty. This is La Couronne, not some bus stop." His voice cracked with venom. One diner, a gray-haired man in a suit, muttered loud enough for others to hear. "Unbelievable. She deserves better than this." Brad whipped around, barking, "Eat your soup, old man, or I'll season it with my spit." The gasps were instant. Phones everywhere started recording. The waiter, drunk on his own cruelty, didn't realize his stage had just turned into a courtroom. Moments later, the restaurant doors swung open. A tall, sharply dressed man in an immaculate tuxedo strode in, his presence commanding instant attention. The young woman stood slowly, and for the first time, her calm smile widened into something sharper. Brad's smirk faltered just a little, but he quickly recovered. "Ah, perfect timing. We've got security cosplay tonight. What's next? Clowns juggling lobsters." The tuxedoed man didn't flinch. Instead, he leaned close to the girl and said, just loud enough, "I heard everything." The room buzzed. Diners whispered, recording fingers steady. Brad laughed nervously, desperate to reclaim control. What's this? Her boyfriend Uber driver trying to act tough? Little did he know, his mouth had just signed a contract his pride couldn't afford to pay. If you're still with me, hit that like and subscribe button. This downfall is only just heating up. The tuxedoed man straightened, his eyes never leaving Brad. "You've embarrassed yourself enough tonight," he said smoothly, but the weight in his voice sliced through the room like glass. Brad puffed his chest, scoffing. "Embarrassed? Please, I'm the one keeping this place classy. Without me, this restaurant's just a soup kitchen with chandeliers." He waved his hand dismissively, then muttered loud enough for recordings to catch. "And we all know who drags the class down, don't we?" He pointed directly at the young woman, twisting his lips into a cruel grin. Gasps filled the air. A woman at table 6 snapped. "That's disgusting!" Brad shot back instantly. "Shut it, Grandma, before I serve you dentures in a doggy bag." Laughter from a few diehards quickly fizzled when they noticed the tuxedoed man wasn't laughing at all. His calm smile looked more dangerous than rage. The girl remained silent, sipping water a waiter had quietly placed by her side. Her silence was power. Brad grew more desperate, clinging to insults like a lifeline. What, too scared to speak up? That's right, you people only know how to dial welfare hotlines. He winked at the diner's filming, convinced he was still in control. Then the tuxedoed man pulled something from his inside pocket, a sleek black card embossed with gold lettering. The kind of card only a handful of people in the entire city carried. Conversations died instantly. Someone whispered, "Is that?" Brad squinted, then laughed again, forcing bravado. "What's this, a fake VIP pass from eBay? Nice touch, Romeo. Too bad it won't get your date a free meal." But the tension in the air said otherwise. Diners leaned forward, cameras steady, sensing the walls of Brad's arrogance closing in. He, however, was too busy laughing at his own cruelty to see the trap snapping shut. If this story has you hooked, don't forget to like and subscribe to Golden Stories because the next twist will leave jaws on the floor. Brad's laughter echoed too loud, too fake, as though he was trying to drown out the shift in the air. The tuxedoed man placed the black card on the podium with deliberate calm. Every head craned closer. The gold letters gleamed under the chandelier. Pierce Holdings International. Gasps rippled like thunder. That name wasn't just big, it was colossal. Everyone in the room knew it. Everyone except Brad. The girl finally rose, moving with the grace of a queen reclaiming her throne. "Brad," she said softly, her voice steady as iron, "meet Mr. Pierce, the man who owns this restaurant." The cameras caught every syllable, every twitch of Brad's whitening face. The tuxedoed man, Mr. Pierce, lifted one brow. "And she," he continued coldly, "is my business partner, which means tonight you didn't just insult a guest, you insulted the owner." The room erupted. Diners cheered, some outright cackling, others chanting, "Fire him! Fire him!" Phones captured Brad's collapse in real time. His bravado crumbled. He dropped to his knees, stammering apologies, sweat staining his shirt. I I didn't mean it. It was just jokes, I swear. Please, please don't ruin me." He clawed at the girl's wrist pathetically, his earlier venom now a puddle of desperation. The girl leaned down, her voice sharp enough to cut diamonds. "You humiliated me in front of strangers. You mocked my skin, my dignity, my presence. And now, look at you, begging at the very feet you tried to trample." She pulled her hand away as Brad crumpled further, sobbing like a child. The diners recorded gleefully, shouting toxic commentary back at him. "Where's your chicken noises now? Cluck for mercy, Brad. Serve humility on a platter." The downfall was nuclear. The humiliation? Eternal. This has been Golden Stories. If you enjoyed watching arrogance collapse under its own weight, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping tales. Until next time, remember, karma always keeps the receipts.